Welcome back to A Better Life. I'm your host, Hank Hennigan, and we're continuing our discussion and talking here on Better Life with Sheriff Sid Gotro. Hello, Sheriff.
Thank you, Hank.
All right, Sheriff. You talked about prison rehab at East Baton Rouge Parish Prison, and the things that are taking place there is just phenomenal. And I really appreciate what the Sheriff Department is doing.
Thank you.
So, homicides in East Baton Rouge. Tell us about that, and isn't that number going down? Is that correct?
It is going down as far as homicides in the parish.
Yeah,
and that's
parish-wide.
That's parish-wide.
And that you're the sheriff of the parish?
Right. By law, I'm the chief law enforcement officer of the parish.
Right.
Which means we have jurisdiction throughout the parish. But we primarily focus our enforcement efforts on the unincorporated areas
Yes.
of the parish. And of course, you know we've been covering Central since they became a city. But we'll go anywhere in the parish.
Sure.
If people call us in the city of Baton Rouge, we're going to go and we're going to handle it. But I'm talking about the numbers from the sheriff's office, the homicides we work. Our homicides have gone down over the last several years, and we're very proud of that. One of the reasons I think for it is we started a homicide division. I didn't have a homicide division when I took over. No,
I didn't know that.
Just general detectives handled the homicide cases, and I knew there was a big need for us to have a homicide division. And off of that, we got involved and started the VCU, Violent Crime Unit of the State Police, which brings in Baton Rouge City's detectives and our detectives, brings in the state, brings in some federal partners to work together with the crime lab.
And that's what I was going to ask you. I mean, I know that you work with the state officials, the local officials in the other cities, City of Baton Rouge and Zachary and Baker and
That's right.
Central, like you said, as well. So tell us about that, working with them.
Well, you know, no man's an island. You
Right.
cannot stand alone. And in today's law enforcement, with the society that we're faced with today, the problems we're faced with, we have to work together. And it's very, very important that we pool our resources and we bring everybody together to the table with an equal voice and work together to solve problems. And we have a tremendous solve rate. I mean, we've got so many. I don't think we have out right now but one outstanding unsolved homicide.
Wow.
And good Lord willing, we'll make that. But you know, it's all about working together, and we've done that.
All right, Sheriff, you talked about the philosophy of having, and we all know about having positive role models in our life. You know, my dad, my grandfathers, my uncles, growing up, and you know, I wanted to be like them. So what message do you give to the young people watching A Better Life, or the mom that has her children there and that they need a role model in their children's life? It's
about making the right decisions. We all have to make decisions every day in our life.
Yes.
No matter if we're 16 years old, we're 66 years old.
There you go.
We all have to make decisions in our life. We all come to crossroads in our life, and we can take one or the other. And a lot of times it's easy to take the easy road, and it's harder to take the harder road, but the harder road is where we need to go.
Right,
and
right.
It's just about decisions. These young people make so many bad decisions, and then they get on a path that they're hard to get off of.
If they see right decisions made at home, most of the time, they're going to make right decisions of their own, you know.
And Hank, you're right. And one of the things, and I hope I have time to share this with you. But you know, when I got to be sheriff, I got to thinking, what is going on? Why are we having the problems we're having? And I looked at the young people we were having to deal with on the streets, and I looked at myself and I said, what formed my character, for better or worse? What developed me? And I use this triangle analogy.
Okay.
The base of the triangle is my home, one side was my church, one side was my school. And I got the right message no matter where it was in my triangle.
Exactly.
Right over wrong, good over evil, do the right thing no matter what the cost was. And then I had consequences in that triangle if I didn't.
Oh, yes.
But my circle of influence, the music I listened to, the TV I watched, the positive role models
Sure.
I had, men in the community,
Oh,
my
yes.
neighbor, you know, in my
Yes.
neighborhood. It was just all the same thing. But these young people today, Hank, the ones we got to deal with, their home is broken at best.
Bless
It's
their
usually a single mother or
Yeah,
grandmother
bless their moms,
that
yes.
is working 2 and 3 jobs just to put roof on their head and food on the table. They don't have the control they need. They're not in school. They're not in church. And so we wonder why. But what does exist with them is their circle of influence.
Sure.
Unfortunately, it's all the negative things.
Yes.
You know, the TV they watch, the music they listen
Yes.
to, the negative role models they have. And it's really, when you look at all those things, it's no wonder why we're where we are.
For them to overcome that, it's very, very hard. It's doable, but that's why I appreciate, like you said, getting out into a community, and if they put their faith and trust in that you're not going to berate them just because they're walking the streets, but you want to be their friends. That's what it's all about. Sheriff, tell us about hiring a deputy. If someone wanted, I know people in the sheriff department. A good friend of mine was in it for years and retired there. But growing up, he always said, "I want to be a sheriff deputy."
Yeah.
Tell us about that if someone wants to be a sheriff deputy.
Well, they can go online, and certainly we're looking for good people all the time, and they can go online to ebrso.org and see all about our department, and they can get an application, whatever, and get the process started. But what we look for, what I look for in hiring a young person to come into law enforcement, number one, this is not just a job.
Sure.
It's a profession. And it's a calling.
It's
a calling by God.
Passion,
you know,
sure.
God put this. I have no doubt in my mind, after 42 years in law enforcement, that this is not the reason He put me here. You know, but I look at their physical stature because it tells you a little bit about how they feel about themselves. I look at their mental capacity because they have to have it. But I look for what's in here, and what's in here is the most important. You can lack a little here and here, make up for it here. That's your character.
Yes.
And the only reason to be in law enforcement is to serve.
Yes.
Serving mentality, serving heart, and you're good.
All right, people watching A Better Life, I know Sheriff Sid Gautreaux well. I know his heart, I know his passion, and he is a great sheriff to lead EBR Parish. And look, thank you for watching A Better Life, and God bless you. We love you. Thank you.